So this project is with my young horse Durango. He's 8 years old. He's a quarter horse, and I've had him since he was a year old. So we've, spent a lot of time building foundational things with him. And one of the things that I spent a lot of time on was mounting, because I wanted him to be very reliable with mounting. I'm 55 years old, so I want my horses to really be a partner with me when I'm getting on and off. When you're mounting and dismounting, you're physically quite vulnerable. So if your horse is nervous at all, or is not helping you with mounting and dismounting, you can end up in an awkward situation. So as you become less physically athletic, it's really, really important that your horse help you with mounting and dismounting. So that was one of the things that I really spent a lot of time with him on when he was a 2 to 3 year old, when I was backing him for the first time. So I'm just showing you here a little bit of where he's at with mounting already, and then we're going to start to take his mounting task to another level, and aiming for some extreme mounting tasks that I have in mind. What I have on my horizon is I'd like to be able to stand up on his back, and I'd like to be able to do some things while standing on his back, such as crack a stock whip or bounce a ball, or do something more extreme. So here today I'm just showing you what we've got, and then I'm going to go looking for where is the next layer, where is the place where he goes from thinking, oh yeah, I know this. You can see right now he's going, oh yeah, I know this, I know that. She's swinging the rope, that's something I'm really familiar with. She gets on, she gets off, it's all good. He's helping me by hurrying up and relaxing and just being a real good partner with mounting and dismounting. And I'm doing it from a mounting block, because as I'm getting older, I'm finding that it's just more helpful for me with my joints, and for him, I can still mount from the ground, but I want him to be able to be just as good being mounted from a platform or from a mounting block as from the ground. That's going to be helpful to me. So here we are, just showing our mounting technique. Mounting from both sides, which is really important to me. I really want my horse to be able to be mounted from both sides equally. I want him to be just as confident with offering to be mounted. You can see I'm setting him up and he's offering to me his right side and his left side to be mounted. There's no hesitation. He's actually virtually in a mindset of, hurry up and get on. Why don't you? And that's what I want. I'm very particular about which eye he's looking at, looking at me with as I mount. I want to keep a little bit of that inside eye on me as I mount. So I'll tip his nose and his eye from left to right, depending on which side I'm on. And I want him to be in that habit. That's just a safe habit. And here I'm showing how we might mount from the ground, and I'm doing it from the right side, which is my awkward side, and I've got a little sciatic problem there, so you can see it's not that athletic, and that's okay, because I want my horse to be able to help me when I have unathletic moments. I don't want him to be unconfident about my lack of athleticism if I'm awkward or wobbly or a little less rhythmic or smooth. I want him to be okay with that. This is the sort of thing that you can't really overdo. This is something that, it's like it's a game of trust me. I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and just hurry up and relax while I just fumble around up here and do stuff. And then I'm just going to add things as we go. So now I'm getting ready to start going to the next level. So this is the first time I've tried this with him. I'm going to go from swinging my leg over to getting in a kneeling position, and I'll retreat each time I do it, so that I retreat to something a little bit more familiar to him, because I want to build this layer by layer. I want no doubt in his mind that this is okay. So you can see his head comes up a little bit. When I go to kneel on him, he, you know, as I was doing it, I could feel him get a little tense and go, "What are you doing?" Because this is a little unfamiliar. This is taking him into new territory. But it's the solid mounting task that I'm building this from that's going to help me. If he had any doubt about me mounting, then this next stage would not be so easy. So I want this from both sides again. I want him to be able to be just as confident with me in his right and his left eye, because I'm looking for the future. I'm looking towards when I go to kneel on him and then stand on him, he's going to be able to look at me from one eye and then the other. And I want him just as confident about that when I do something less expected, so that he doesn't lose so much confidence that he then feels like he has to look to Mother Nature for the answers. It really doesn't help me at all when my horse is looking to Mother Nature for the answers. I need him to ask me for the answers. I need him to think things through, and it's my job to help him understand, you know, this weird world of humans, because this is not something that any horse would experience in his natural life. So I'm pretty happy with him right now. I'm pretty happy with the stage, and you know, this is a new thing for him. So I'm, you know, resisting the temptation to go further, because what I've learned, you know, through my years is that, you know, less is best. And do less more often rather than, you know, more less often. So I've ended the session there because he was making a nice change. He started to relax, and he started to accept this new layer. So we'll see in the next session. We'll come back and check it and start at the beginning again, and then go through and check and see whether this new layer is now something that he is au fait with, and then see if it's time to move on. Okay, so here's the next part of the project, which is to see if we can, you know, crack a stock whip from the ground and also bounce a ball from the ground, because these are the two elements that I want to add later on to standing on his back. So this is the first time I've cracked a stock whip near Durango, so I'm standing on a pedestal to do it, and he's passing that test really nicely. And then with the ball, if you couldn't do this from the ground with the ball and the stock whip, then there would be absolutely no point in trying to do it while standing on his back, of course. So I want to make sure that everything I want to do from his back, I can do even more on the ground, so that then there's less room for error or for an accident. This is just setting it up for safety and for a good performance.